Hi, and greetings from Northumbria. I'm really looking forward to being with you in September, back in an area where many years ago I came to faith. From an unchurched background, I had an encounter with God in the Cairngorms that was to change my life. I'm looking forward to meeting you and the opportunity that the weekend affords us to explore something that I believe is of importance and encouragement to us as we seek to respond to the great commandment to love the Lord our God with all our heart, soul, mind and strength, love our neighbour as we would love ourselves, and also how we might embrace the Great Commission, Jesus' commission for us to go into all the world and make disciples. In the words of the songwriter Bob Dylan, which I appreciate, dates me, younger people might like to Google Bob Dylan. He produced an album back in the 1960s entitled The Times They Are A-Changing. And wow, are those words so pertinent and relevant today. The tectonic plates, politically, economically, societally, culturally, and the church are all shifting. And the church finds itself, I would suggest, less in revival and more like the experience of God's people in exile, where we are called to ask the question, how do we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? How do we respond to the challenges, yes, and the opportunities of an increasingly post-Christendom Western society? How do we find stability in the midst of all the change and movement? And importantly, what is God saying to us in these unprecedented times? I'm looking forward to being with you and all the things that we might explore, and particularly one aspect that I believe is important in loving God and serving his loving purposes in the world. And that is prayer. And prayer is not yet another thing we must do, some, religious exercise. It's integral to our relationship with God. Prayer is life. Prayer is the language of relationship with the living God. Prayer roots us. It gives us stability. It provides a rhythm and a pattern to our lives. It informs us, it inspires us, it helps us to listen and discern what God is saying and doing in our lives, in the church, in our neighbourhoods, where we stay, work, wherever we are. Learning to listen to the heartbeat of God. There's a lovely image of John, the beloved disciple, leaning upon the breast of Jesus in the upper room. It's a beautiful picture of being close and listening to the heartbeat of God. And we hear the heartbeat of God through prayer. And in turn, we pray God's blessing to be upon our communities. It's very akin to the experience of Jeremiah, who was saying to his people, who were shaken by the experience of massive change, by the loss of the temple, who found themselves in a strange alien place. And their default position was to try to get back to normal, to recover the temple. And Jeremiah is saying, no. God has put us in this place. Our task is to learn to sing his song, learn how to live in this new place, to settle, to dwell, and to pray for the welfare of people who are not like us. So, without turning this little introduction into a commentary on our times or an exposition on Jeremiah, it's just a taste of the things that we'll be exploring over the weekend. And I really hope that you'll join us, and I hope you'll be encouraged as we, both alone and together, look at some of the things and do what one monk, Brother Lawrence, described as practice the presence of God. Actually do what we're teaching. And in so doing, I pray that we will be blessed, but actually more importantly, that we will, as a result of the weekend, be a blessing to others through what God in his love and grace might do in us and through us that weekend. So till September, bless you and take care.